Hello everyone, this is Noble John. Welcome to another episode of Throwback Thursday. Today we are playing Heretic. Let's just start from the first level. Well, let's go to the fourth difficulty. So this is Heretic. Heretic was made by Raven Software. I believe, 94 is when it came out initially. And I gotta start off by saying it didn't look anything like what you're seeing now. Well, that's not entirely true. It was still pixelated. And, you know, the weapons and enemies are still the same. But this, hopefully, should be coming at you at 1080p 60 frames a second, which was unheard of at the time. This game was probably initially 320 by 200 pixels. Which sounds really, really bad by today's standards, but at the time it wasn't bad. It was what everything was, so you really appreciated it. But yeah, I was running in DOS and all that kind of stuff. Oh yeah, finding secrets, don't mind me. So yeah, Raven Software. Raven Software was a pretty fun company. I remember this one actually was a Doom port. So they used the Doom engine initially, which came out in 93. Doom 2 came out in 94, so this is the same year as Doom 2. And they added a lot of new features to it. Like, I am using mouse look right now, and I don't know if you can tell, but I can't look straight up. I'm restricted to about 45 degrees up, and it's hard to tell if that's 45 degrees down. Let me get... Yep, using that wall as a base. So yeah. So this game actually did include looking up and down, whereas Doom did not. But yeah, I'm using a mouse and a keyboard now for WASD control and M-look and things like that, which again, wasn't a thing. So I am not getting a peer experience. And honestly, I don't know if you're gonna go back and play a game like this, I don't think you'd want to have a peer experience anymore. But this, so source ports have come out because this is using the Doom engine. Id released the Doom source code pretty far back, actually. I don't remember the exact date. And a lot of developers took it and added new features like higher resolutions, better controls. I'm individually clicking every single time. I should probably fix that. But yeah, there's a lot of new modern features were added. It made it easier to do things like network the game so you can play with other players and things like that. Oh, I'm backed into a corner now. Yeah. Whoop. Because it's a source port, there's a lot of similarities between Doom and Heretic. If you've played a lot of Doom, this particular weapon is reminiscent of the chainsaw. You see, as soon as I approach someone and attack them, it more or less sucks me in and locks me onto that character. I'm not pushing the keyboard at all, I'm just holding down the fire button on my mouse. And then this weapon, as you saw, is like a staff, but this is the equivalent of the pistol in Doom. Yeah, they made this one, and they also made Hexen, which came out, I believe, the next year in 95. And that one was again using the Doom engine, but it was hub-based, where you'd have like a central area, or a central, I don't know what you'd call it, but you'd start on a level that would have a bunch of other levels branched off of it. You'd teleport to a different level, and then you would come back to the hub and then go to the next one and things like that. So it wasn't progressive like Doom and Heretic were, where there's like one level right after another. But yeah, that was back then. This one at least has looking up and down. Heretic also included jumping, which, if I'm not mistaken, is enabled in this source port. Let me try. Yes, it is. I shouldn't do that because, well, who cares? This Throwback Thursday, I should be going back to normal, but I don't know. I like the modern conveniences. I'm sorry. But yeah, click this. So So this opens up this path down here, which is good. I guess I can kill these guys and get this ammo here. Oop. And yeah, I typically couldn't get back up, but I'm cheating. I'm just jumping. Don't worry about it. Oh yeah, secret area. Kind of feel like I'm spoiling y'all because I already know where all these are. Yes, this one, just letting go here, the river pushes me along. That's not something that was in the original Doom engine. So yeah, Raven Software, when they took it, added a lot of new features. And one of them, I'm actually going to talk about in just a second. Let me grab some of these things. And then head through here, I believe is where I'm going to go. Yeah. So this will definitely bring you into modern day. Very, very relevant to today, but I don't remember what store it was. It was an electronics store that I walked into, and they had a little booth back in, I guess it would be 94, 95 when this game was around and new. I had played the shareware, I'd played through the first season, but I came in to this store with my dad, and there was a booth that we walked up to, and the guy had a VR headset, virtual reality headset, and offered to show my dad and I. My dad took a look, played with it, and went, "Oh, that's really interesting." Then he gave it to me. And I popped it on, and this is what I saw. I was here, I was wandering around, and I'm just looking up and down going, this is incredible. But there was one problem that I didn't foresee as a kid, that I very shortly noticed. Looking around was really boring after like 15 seconds. And so I put my hand on the keyboard and started playing Heretic. And this is really funny too, because if you were watching me do it, I had my head turned to the right side, like just over my right shoulder, looking down toward the ground, and I didn't even notice I was doing that because I had continued to play with the game and I had corrected my viewport and everything, and I was moving around as though there was no VR headset on me, because it really looked like I was just looking at a TV or a computer screen. And so yeah, it was really cool and a nice novelty for, yeah, as I said, probably all 15 seconds, and then I forgot I was even doing it and just continued on to normal play. And I have to admit, that vision of VR has clouded my judgment on VR to this very day. And I still, oops, sorry, I just scratched my nose and didn't realize there'd be a guy in there. Oh yeah, 100%. I'd do it for you, or for the children. Let's say I did it for the children. So yeah, we have new system, or new gear coming out now. I don't remember what that other one was called. There's one from Oculus, the Rift. There's the HTC Vive. There's also Sony's new thing for their PlayStation 4. And all this stuff is still, well, I think the Oculus Rift is out now for some people. But yeah, sadly I had no interest in any of them. I've done really fun things, like, you know, there's a couple tech demo things you can do with like a cell phone, so you can use it to, I don't know, just look around as you move the phone. It changes the viewport on like a video you're watching. Like I just saw one today that was a 360-degree view of Minecraft, and it was pretty fun. I enjoyed it, but I enjoyed it for, you know, about 20 seconds until I passed it on to someone else, said, check this out, and then never had any desire to see it again. I think the only thing like unto VR that I've seen where I can see more long-term application than simply oh, I don't think I'm supposed to be able to jump up there, but I'm doing it. Are you still up there? Oh crap, I got stuck in a... Yeah, I'm not supposed to be able to come up here, I'm sorry. Oh, I was supposed to go through there. Don't worry about it. Go back to this weapon. So yeah, I think it's a really cool trick. But for my part, I don't want to own a VR headset. I would much rather work with augmented reality. You know, something like where you have a camera or something that looks in your current environment and then adds something that's not typically there. I've seen some applications with cell phones that do that and stuff like that. But I just really like that I don't have something over my head and I can see what's around me and I can interact with the world around me, but with extras. And I think that's a really, really cool trick that I much, much prefer over VR. Yeah, and I think there's, man, VR has been around for quite a while. It was honestly in a lot of movies from like the 80s and 90s. And there was, Nintendo had the Virtual Boy as well, which was, I guess technologically it was really, really advanced, but by today's standards you probably wouldn't like it at all, because it was like a grayscale type of vision, but it was, instead of being gray, the background was just solid black. It just meant that there was no light, and then the grayscale was actually red. They just had I don't know if it was even multiple shades of red, or if it was just one shade and they just used interpolation. So just pixels and then gaps in between the pixels to make areas look darker, more gray, essentially. So yeah, there was, virtual reality has been a thing in video gaming for quite a while, and even was mainstream in the 90s. So yeah, not to downplay what everyone's working on right now, because they have some incredible technology that really was unheard of at the time that this other technology was made. This is fun when I'm playing on a harder difficulty than I played Doom on this difficulty, but I haven't played Heretic on this difficulty ever, and I'm really surprised that I'm still at 100% armor and 100% health, because I don't really know these maps nearly as well as I did with Doom. And then maybe I'll do a Doom Throwback Thursday in the future. I mean, it would be pretty timely right now. We have the new Doom coming out pretty soon from id. Oh, you guys. Oh, you guys are gonna kill me because I have almost nothing in terms of useful ammo. I don't even know what the equivalent of these guys would be in Doom. I almost feel like an imp just because they throw stuff and the imps throw fireballs. But it's really, really hard to compare them to imps. Oh, they dropped good ammo. Oh yeah, 15. Okay. No, come on, open up. Thank you. A secret is revealed. Give me more ammo. Or you give me more ammo. Somebody give me more ammo. Oh, you guys both suck. I can hear someone back here. Someone give me ammo, for crying out loud. I already got one of those. Good secret, but I've already got the chainsaw equivalent. That's the blue door. Remember that spot? I'm in slime. I shouldn't be able to jump. That's so fun. It's fun to cheat the system. So yeah, the source port I'm using for this, I just gotta talk about that, because this Throwback Thursday is probably the hardest thing that I do on my channel to record. And it's all because every game that I play on there is really old. They're like all from the 90s. I don't know if I'll play anything earlier. I don't know if I own anything earlier. I think the oldest thing I've played so far is Commander Keen, and that was, I believe, 92. But yeah, these games are old, and they're not meant to run on like Windows 10 on an i5 in a GeForce 660, which is what I'm running on right now. Oh crap. So yeah, you have to do some tweaks and settings and things like that, and it honestly takes several hours to get most of these to work smooth. This one, for example, I'm using ZDoom right now, which is one of the ports that was made from the Doom source code that was released back I don't know. I don't remember if it was late 90s, early 2000s. But yeah, Z-Doom adds things like the high resolution, it adds mouse look, it adds jumping. It just adds all the features that you really like, you know, new networking codes so you can play online with your friends, different things like that. It's free to download, but in order to play these games, you actually do have to own a copy of them because it needs the main WAD file. The WAD file is actually what contains all the levels and art assets and sound effects, music, everything like that. So it I don't want to say emulates because it's based on the same code, but it's just basically like running a newer copy of the game code, but then using the same assets. No, shut up, go away, kill. Okay. Imagine there's like a teleport pad or something that's supposed to take me up here. Again, because I'm not supposed to be able to jump. Don't tell Raven Software. That's probably fine. They use source ports. Oh. Can I do that again? No, I can't. Dang it. It looks like I missed a secret. Sorry, guys. I do have the green key, though. Let's go in here. Yeah, so Raven Software, I really admired them for a long time because they did something that I really wish I could do. They took engines that were created by Valve for like Doom and then eventually Quake and Quake 2 and things like that, and they turned them into new games that were, oh geez, I don't want to die right here. Can I go over here and get some light? Thank you. And they made, well, with the Doom engine they made Heretic and Hexen. With the Quake engine they made, I think, Hexen 2. Quake 2 engine had Heretic 2. Oh, kill. Yeah, Heretic 2. And then with the Quake 3 engine they made a couple games. One was a big controversy. It was Soldier of Fortune, which is like one of the first games that I had heard of, at least, that had area-specific damage to your opponents, and it would, ooh, new weapon. Okay. Wait, where am I going? This is the green? This is the green? Oh, I have blue now. Blue. Wait, where's blue? Oh, that looks good. Alright, so this is the chain gun. Yeah, so area-specific damage in your opponents, and what that meant was that it was like exceptionally violent, like you'd shoot and one of their limbs would come off and things like that. And violence was just always so controversial in the 90s and 2000s, things like that. I don't feel like it's nearly as controversial now because, well, we have a lot more violent games and it's just becoming more commonplace for them to be exceptionally violent. But yeah, here when we're still experimenting, it was new, it was novel, and it was controversial. Oh, okay, yeah, I could have made it across that. What's up here? Yeah, the other game they made, not Soldier of Fortune. I never actually played Soldier of Fortune. The other one was Star Trek Voyager Elite Force. Oh man, it's dark in here. And I loved that game. Dang it, not nearly as well. It's probably that one secret that I saw and didn't pick up that would have done it for us. But yeah, Star Trek Voyager Elite Force is probably the best Star Trek game ever made. Then with the Doom 3 engine, they made Quake 4, which is funny because it's Raven Software making a sequel to an id game, which I was perfectly fine with. I thought Quake 3 wasn't all that fun. I thought Doom 3 was okay. I mean, the engine was fantastic, but it just wasn't Doom anymore. And I know I'm not alone in thinking that, but I don't want to sound like a downer either, because it was still a fun game. It just wasn't what I had wanted it to be, which is fine. I still had Doom. I still have Doom 2, so I still play them to this day. So I'm not too upset. Uh-oh, cheating the system. Can I jump in here? I can. Again, don't tell Raven. Hello? Die, 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 die. No, die. Why? This weapon's not that good. But yeah, they made Quake 4, and after Quake 4, they made Wolfenstein in like 2009. So I'm not talking about the New Order or oh, I can't remember the newer expansion, standalone expansion's called. The Old Blood. Blood. Not to be mistaken with Blood that I played in a previous Throwback Thursday. It's just the lighting looked a little funny here, so I just figured it must have a secret door. Apparently not. But yeah, I never actually played. Well, I played the demo of Wolfenstein. I don't really know much about it because it was. I don't know. I never picked it up, so I don't know how well it did. Maybe it was good. Maybe it wasn't. I just don't remember it as being as big a deal as the New Order. And then I think Raven Software now works alongside, or they work on Call of Duty games. Open up, wherever you are. Hey, quit making the scratching noises. Thank you. Yeah, and I don't really play any Call of Duty games, so I don't really follow what they're up to anymore, which is really sad, because it used to be it would release some really freaking awesome technology, but wouldn't know how to do good story-based games with it. And then Raven Software would come along and make a fantastic story-driven game with the same engine, and I would love both of them quite a bit. Oop, oop, oop. Yeah, I think the only other bit of trivia I've got for this game is probably, I don't know if you saw, maybe you'd have to go back previous into the video, but, or hopefully I recorded it too. In the early part of the menu, a little a little advisory will pop up in the bottom corner to let you know this game is rated according to RSAC, which I think is called like the Recreational Software Advisory Council. And they were one of the groups that rated video games back in those controversial days that I was talking about. And they had a very different type of rating system from what the ESRB has these days, because they didn't do like the movies, like the MPAA does, where, you know, they have E, E10, Teen, M. They had, instead, I think it was 3 categories. They had violence, language, and then sex and nudity. And this game actually received a level 3 violence rating, because they had multiple levels for each of their ratings. And this one was rated 3 for blood and gore. And you can see there's blood and gore in here. But yeah, that rating system was eventually, well, I think all that's being used now in the United States at least is the ESRB. I don't actually follow what's being used in other countries, although I do see Peggy in trailers I watch a lot. Peggy 16. Yeah, this level, I think, is pretty close to being completed. And I'm actually really impressed with myself because I still haven't even gotten close to dying, even though I've been trapped multiple times. Oh, I need that ammo. There's something over here? Of course there is. Oh yeah. Oh, perfect. Lots of power-ups. I wish I had played more of Heretic. I did play, I don't know if I've ever beaten Heretic. I did beat Hexen. And I love that game. I don't know how comfortable I feel saying that, but I believe that I had borrowed the full disc from a friend, installed it on my computer, and then just proceeded to just go through the entire game on my own. Which, you know, is essentially piracy, which I don't advocate, but, you know, at the time that's what I did. I was just reminded of a story that just came out very recently of a kid who, not a kid, I guess he's an adult now, but he used to be a kid, who was at a, I don't know if it was a convention or what, but he went to someone who was a developer of a game that he really, really loved as a kid and offered them money to pay for the game that he had stolen when he was really young. Oh, green. And I guess I've essentially repented because I now own every one of these games on Steam, so I have now purchased it. Which makes me feel a heck of a lot better. Oh, don't give me that. The red one's even worse. Yeah, give me that. I like that. Up. But yeah, that's the end of the level, so I guess that'll be the end of the episode. Yeah, thank you all for watching. If you enjoy these, which most of you tell me you do, please leave a like and let me know in the comments like what you enjoy about them, what you remember from when you were playing games, the early games, preferably games before 2000. But yeah, thank you for watching, and yeah, have a great day.